Well, it's December 28th. We've got 124 cases of COVID throughout our county, or had. I don't know how many folks are over it. I hope everyone's getting over it. And we've had 2 deaths. And even with COVID, I hope everyone enjoyed their Christmas and stayed away from that and stayed safe. And what I'm going to talk about today is the old Milwaukee Bridge. There's been several county commissioner meetings where the old Milwaukee Bridge has been brought up. But of course, we're not seeing any public meeting minutes published as of today. And that goes back to our county transparency, our county government's transparency. And, you know, why aren't we seeing this? Anyway, on the other end of that bridge is the Calypso Trail. And it's an amazing place. Many of us have been out there. It's just absolutely amazing, beautiful. And we should be able to visit that. That bridge should be repaired. In March of 2018, Brett French wrote an article in the Billings Gazette regarding wilderness lands. Gianforte said, unlocking these lands and returning them to Forest Service and BLM management will increase Montanans' access to their public lands. And for some reason, Todd Devlin, chair of the Prairie County Commissioners, entered into that article and wrote in a February 28th letter to Gianforte, of course this was prior to this article, that his fellow lawmakers support either completely eliminating the Terry Badlands WSA or substantially reducing its size. Devlin wrote that the WSA is a petri dish for noxious weeds that cannot be controlled because of current management restrictions. Well, looking at Devlin's mindset here, that being the case, I guess most of eastern Montana should be eliminated because most of eastern Montana contains noxious weeds. Devlin goes on to say, Prairie County is one of the most elderly counties in the United States. Wilderness areas and WSA do not bring additional enjoyment to our elderly. Due to the restrictions put on WSA and wilderness, you have to be very fit and youthful. This is not the case in Prairie County. So, you know, I guess what Devlin's saying there is Prairie County is full of old, unfit people. Yeah, you know, personally, and most of the people that I know can walk, drive, and visit these places. We're not restricted. So, you know, Devlin's comments follow a nearly 20-year push by the Montana Wilderness Association to raise awareness about the value of the Terry Badlands to the economically depressed region of the state and increase public interest in visiting the rugged drylands. The BLM has recommended that more than 33,000 acres be designated wilderness. And you know, there's all kind of values there. The BLM says on its website that the Terry Badlands WSA includes colorful banded cliffs that overlook rolling prairie, Geologic features including sandstone bridges, spires, tabletops, and buttes, divided by many deep gullies, all formed by thousands of years of wind and water erosion. Sounds beautiful to me. Rolling benches are vegetated with grasses, wildflowers, and brush, such as sage, yucca, greasewood, and scattered juniper. Wow, that sounds like a lot of eastern Montana. One of the most easterly stands of limber pine is located in the WSA. Wildlife there include mule and white-tailed deer, pronghorn, elk, badgers, raptors, and reptiles such as horned lizards. Petrified logs may be encountered in the WSA. The WSA is high in cultural resources. Historical resources include 1800 eras U.S. Army troops graffiti on the Sheridan Butte. The WSA is an excellent area for hiking, backcountry hunting, rock and fossil collecting, and enjoying the spectacular Badlands scenery. You know, I gotta say, who wouldn't want that open to folks to visit? Who would want to keep it so that people couldn't visit that area and enjoy that beauty and that nature? Who gave Commissioner Devlin the right to say we as county residents are too elderly to enjoy this public land and that it is no value to us? He had no right or authority to represent himself as Prairie County. He could have stated, in my personal opinion. We've noticed in the past that Mr. Devlin, speaking, whether it's in an editorial in the paper or to reporters, that he always tends to name himself as the Prairie County Commissioner's Chair, along with other titles that he seems to put in there. You know, I took these pictures out there at the bridge. The bridge is a disgrace, folks. It's horrible. You know, that old Milwaukee Bridge right now is a disgrace to Prairie County. It's a disgrace to the state of Montana. I read one story on the internet where 3 different visitors to our area crossed that bridge and got flat tires from the bridge. That's ridiculous. And you can see in these pictures the metal spikes sticking up that surely would puncture tires. You know, we really don't have a whole lot of tourism here. We have some hunters that come here to our county and stay here in our hotels. But our tourism could benefit us all in this county. Look at Makoshika Park. The people aren't trashing Glendive when they visit. They visit the Dinosaur Museum. They stay in hotels. They go to restaurants and eat. Looks good to me. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't want that. All of our businesses, the gas station, 2 hotels, grocery store, museum, Prairie Unique would all have benefited from that bridge being repaired. Why haven't we repaired it? In January, specifically January 7th of 2020, in a commissioner meeting, the commissioners signed an agreement with the Federal Lands Access to match $50,000 in a grant to repair the bridge. And it was decided at that time that, you know, it's going to be repaired. Where is it? I mean, why are we waiting? Spring's coming. Let's get on it, commissioners. Then, I told you we were going to talk about the tax increase for public safety that we've received on our property taxes. Public safety. Is it the fire department? Is it fire protection? Is it fire prevention? Is it the ambulance? We don't know what it is. Is it law enforcement? We don't know. But one thing we do know is we kept hearing about a grant they received to hire another deputy. And I kept hearing, well, it's free. He's free. Why not hire him? Why not take advantage of this? Well, folks, nothing's free. I can guarantee you that. There's training, there's vehicles, there's uniforms, there's firearms, all sorts of things that we're going to be stuck with paying for. Computers, I don't know, desks, who knows. But it's not free, okay? And I don't know how much of this increase is for fire protection and how much is for law enforcement, or how much may even be for the ambulance. I don't know. But I guess we can get answers to that from our commissioners. They see these videos, so if they want, they can respond. And we do need to concentrate on fire protection. Not only for our own safety, but also you look at our insurance, and we pay an extra amount of insurance because we don't have the fire protection that the insurance company requires. But I'll show you this chart here that shows our crime rate. I don't know exactly how accurate this is. I believe it is somewhat accurate, and they go on statistics reported to the federal government. And the crime is ranked on a scale of 1 for the low crime to 100 for high crime. And you look at the chart and you see property crimes. Prairie County is 19.8, and that's out of 100, remember that. Montana itself is 38.3. In the whole U.S., that's the whole United States, is 35.4. I think we're doing pretty good there. Then you go down to the violent crime. And I guess domestics, things like that may be included in this. And we're seeing a 12.9. Haven't heard of any homicides, but that's a very low crime rate. And the reason we have such a low crime rate in Prairie County is because we have good people living here. And so in order to say we need more law enforcement, I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. I don't see what they would be accomplishing. And I kept hearing as a reason for another deputy, excuse me, as a reason for another deputy, so the current deputies can have more time off. And this reasoning was repeated over and over in local forums. I don't understand that. Time off. So, what I do see here, I see taxation without representation. I've got to ask the question, who represents you in our county government? I got to tell you, folks, don't fear your government. Give your opinion. I will not divulge your name if you ask me not to. But email me, text me. I need to know what's going on. I need to know what your concerns are in order to keep this going. And I will keep this going. And we're coming up on New Year's. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. The next thing in our national election The next important date would be January 6th, when Congress confirms the vote from the states and the electors. And that's probably going to be a big thing. So keep an eye on that. More fraud, and I'm saying that F word again. More fraud has come out in this election, and you have to scratch your head and say, why? Why is there fraud? Why did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, I think we are, because we've let it happen in the past. And we've got to be careful. We've got to monitor these government officials. We've got to monitor our county officials. And we've got to hold them accountable for what they do in these elections and how these elections are run. And hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this as a country, as a county, as Americans, because we need to. And again, have a happy new year. I don't know if I'll have another video up here before then. Stay safe, stay away from COVID. Thank you.